Race number 4 takes us to those streets of the Windy City here for the Bull Racing League and the Lightning Series. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to roll out from Chicago. My name is Loren. We'll bring you all of racing action this afternoon from the 4th round of the Bull Racing League's Lightning Series here on Green Flag TV. What an opening few rounds it has been. A clean race at Daytona. And, well, 2 relatively caution-filled races at Atlanta and Richmond, respectively. Today, these drivers are looking for more this afternoon as we will look to try and get ourselves with a bit more green flag racing in here before too long, hopefully. Of course, the championship standings still continuing to pick up. We have not yet had a repeat winner this afternoon, as so far, well, those winners go down to Lily Frazier, Dalton Kilbrough, Peyton Snyder. Will we get our first repeat winner here tonight? Pacey Wygett sits atop the points boards with 140 ahead of Dalton Kilbrough. And, of course, drivers like Wygett and Kilbrough, along with Johnson, locking themselves into the playoffs thus far, as we continue to battle our way deeper and deeper into the playoff standings. The furthest driver up that does not have a win on the board is Alyssa Pelletier-Sharp, running right now in the 3rd place spot with 108 points. 2 podiums on the season as well, along with 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s. So Sharp looking to be a big improvement here this afternoon. And with all of that said and done, we'll roll things over to the starting grid in just a few moments. Take a rundown on how everything's going to line on up. Qualifying is just getting itself closed on up here this afternoon, as we are waiting on the last few cars to come across the start-finish line here this afternoon. It is an open 10-minute session to allow for drivers to get themselves locked away on the starting grid. Stages this afternoon will be on laps 10 and 20. Which is where we'll be slowing ourselves down. Blaine Snyder working his way to the start-finish line. 1.4 seconds up so far, at least provisionally on his time. Does he improve from 5th on the grid? He does, but he will only be improving to 4th. Just behind him, Justin Johnson will jump up to the number 6 spot. And there is Alyssa Pelletier-Sharp looking set to try and close out the lap. Sharp comes across the start-finish line. No time logged for the driver of the Ace Tech Sim Sports number 71 Toyota Camry. And looking as though that might be just about everything here for qualifying. Again, just waiting on the last couple of cars on the racetrack to make their way across the start-finish line. 10 seconds are left here in this session, and then we will officially tick things over to racing action here this afternoon. 38 laps with 2 stages on the boards, set to kick off with racing action here this afternoon on a fantastic Friday night. So with that all said and done, time to take a rundown of that starting grid, and they will line up a little something like this as they'll bring him on up to the front straightaway. It is Austin Johnson starting on pole position with the thermal number 20 with a 1:27.743. The runs at number 30 of DJ Trout, making both these drivers, in fact, making their first starts this season. We'll start 1 and 2 on the front row. Row number 2 this afternoon going to be headed up by Nick Miller with Busch Light number 1 alongside the Black Rifle Top Company number 88 of Blaine Snyder. Blaine Snyder caught some flack after running into a few drivers last week. He is looking for more this afternoon. Row number 3 headed up by PBR Racing's Bobby Blowers alongside Justin Johnson to the bottom 5, number 33 for Grid Sim Sport. Row number 4 Pulls the discount tire, number 12 Mustang of Scott McCann, alongside the 213simware.com, number 98 of John Matthews. Top 10 then closed out by Peyton Snyder's and the HendrickCars.com, number 48, alongside the Coors Light, number 28 of Lane Myers. Continuing to move our way down through this field this afternoon. It's going to be Pacey Watch from PBR Racing alongside Chris Giampoulos, 6 seconds off the mark. 13th place holds Lily Frazier alongside Carson Lucas in the M&M's number 81. From there, it's Dom Salvo with the Delaware Life number 77 alongside the Ghost Energy drink numbers 35 of Casey Ellis. And of course, George Giampoulos back in 17th. The last car to put down the qualifying lap alongside Troy Washburn. From there, Martin Roberg brings it up in 19th place alongside Elena Pelletier-Sharp, who did not put down the qualifying lap. Field closed out by Sam Dooley, Alex Ricky, and Joey Givedon, closing out a 23 car field this afternoon. So field lining up just shy of turn 6 and effectively just about ready to rumble. We just wait now on the last few drivers get themselves gridded on up, and then racing action can kick off in earnest this afternoon. So with all that said and done, drivers are going to be making their way up and around single file for the time being as they'll go behind the BMW M2 CS Racing pace car. And as always, we are happy that you are joining us for racing action here. Friday night prime time. They'll work their way through the square. And up towards South Columbus Drive. Pace car is off, and with that, time to get the party started, as it will be in the hands of one Austin Johnson, the leaders of the green flag. It's time to go, go, go for the Windy City! Lot of accordioning going on down in the turn number 1. The field able to get themselves relatively sorted for the most part. While they take off down the back straightaway here this afternoon. Nick Miller making a quick jump up into the number 2 spot as DJ Trout slips backwards for 3rd. And Miller looking like he wants to have a go. He is going to have that look down for the inside at turn 6. Thinks better of it. Tucks back in line. Lap 1 of 38. Just about in the books here so far as Miller continues to hound the back bumper of that number 20 entry. Field going to fire their way out of the square for the first time. Elena Pelletier-Sharp getting a little bit closer to the arc. Oh, and one car has just smoked the tire bundles. Well, it is going to be one Austin Johnson leading the way for the first time tonight. Nick Miller unable to go on the offense for now. Chris Giampoulos has had a hard smack into the wall, and he is going to be finding himself down and out in the early going. Take a look. This is what happened to him. So, oh boy, just a vicious hit up into that outside wall. Causes chaos early in the early going for him, and now, once again, Miller looking like he wants to try to find a way to get up and around Austin Johnson. So far, Johnson doing a good job on keeping his nose up ahead of Miller, but Miller doing an equally good job on keeping that number 20 car honest. Of course, DJ Trout back here slipped back into the third place position early on and just looking to manage his run as he fends off Blaine Snyder for third. Oh, and around, gonna go Pelletier sharp because she catches the left side wall with the left rear of her race car while Austin Johnson puts down the fastest lap of the race. Carson Lucas has taken a toe to pit road. He is out while Sharp tries to fend off a run from John Matthews. Matthews kicks the tail end out, and that will allow for Dom Salvo to go around the outside, entering turn 2. And Salvo gonna pick off the run. Meanwhile, Pacey Wygent makes a pass on Scott McCann as McCann lets Pacey through on the straight. And this is what happened to Carson Lucas, as he already had damage and just went into the runoff following the square. He's out from there. Meanwhile, on board with Nick Miller as, oh boy, nearly runs into the back of Austin Johnson. Had to stab the brakes to avoid running them over. Meanwhile, further down the grid, Scott McCann gets around Dom Salvo as well in that battle for the 10th place spot. Salvo trying to cross him over. As we're going to hit South Columbus Drive, Salvo to the inside again, kicks the tail end. And he is through. Good showing there for Salvo, as he is going to breeze right on by. Matthews and McCann continue to scrap it out for 11th place. Oh boy, McCann caught the wall. Quickly pulled to the right to allow Matthews through, and that almost caused Matthews to run into the back of him. Blowers and Johnson, meanwhile, also close for 5th. As already we work lap 5 of 38. Oh, and a hit to the back end there. That's going to send Blowers deep, and he's into the wall. Up the road, Blaine Snyder has spun it. Oh no, they're both going to go colliding into the number 88. I don't think Blowers was happy with how Justin Johnson raced him, and that has costed them both dearly. Boy, that was an ugly, ugly incident that frankly could easily have been avoided. My, oh my. Right on board with Justin Johnson. We'll kind of get a look back at this. Watch as he kind of goes it a bit hot here in turn 1. There you saw him going around. That was Blaine Schneider going around. This is on board with Justin Johnson here. Gonna go deep into turn 1. Gets into the back end of Blowers, sends him in deep. That's gonna put Blowers up into the wall. And then Blowers cuts across, and they try to trap Justin Johnson behind him, and it backfired. How about that? Johnson actually avoided it. That is instant karma there for Bobby Blowers. He tried to pinch him in behind a spun 88 car, and instead Snyder backed up right into the path of Bobby Blowers. And you can see that left front completely disconnected off of the number 34 entry. Oh, now Snyder kicks the tail end out again. That's another good thing to point out, right? I mean, Blaine Snyder's going to be damaged as a result of that incident. Alex Ricky now has got a meatball flag, and he is into the fence. Oh, and now Casey Ellis spins around just in front of him. Oh, and gonna hard side slap the right side wall. Gotta be careful on doing that. This is what happened to Ricky. Oh, man! Absolutely smoked the outside wall there. Well, that's what has put Ricky down and out, and that is why he went straight on into the barriers. Meanwhile, DJ Trout closing on Nick Miller, wants to make a look. We're over halfway through stage one. Oh, Miller's gonna lock her up into turn number two. He's into the fence. DJ Trout slips through the inside, and Trout's up to the number two spot. Justin Johnson and Peyton Snyder gonna look to go at it as well for fourth and fifth place. Johnson has been involved in a share of incidents earlier this race and is just looking to survive the remainder of stage one to bring that car in and get damages repaired. Dom Salvo as well, going on offense against Elena Pelletier-Sharp. Sharp, though, going to keep that 77 car at bay, but not for long. Oh, Sharp caught the wall there a little bit. This might be a look into turn one. But again, the Ace Sim Sports strikes the concrete into the opening corner. This is on board with Salvo as he tries to fight through. Looks down the inside, gets the door slammed shut in his face by Sharp up the road. And this is what a lap looks like. When you're trying to battle it out, I mean, the road looks wide, but it is anything but. And I think this really kind of shows just how narrow it is. He's going to tag the back of Sharp that time. Up the road, Justin Johnson slowing. And in fact, Johnson can be forced to let them both through. Oh, and now a huge look to the inside for Salvo. Has Salvo overshot turn 6? No, he hasn't. Oh, he may have. No, he doesn't. He slows it down. And Justin Johnson forced into pit road. So something big going awry for Justin Johnson. That was around turn 3, and that'll do it. Struck the wall big in 4. Boy, what a ride it has been in stage one. A rough time of it here as Schneider, Fraser, in fact, both Snyders trying to go at it with Lily Fraser, the Daytona winner, just up the road. John Matthews looking like he may have had a bit of a spin, but so far all's looking well for him. Race leader Austin Johnson beginning the final trip around in stage number one this afternoon. This battle for 10th, though, going nowhere. It is the fight for the final position up for grabs. Lily Fraser starting to build a gap. This one looks like it'll be down between Peyton and Blaine. George Ciampa going to leave pit road and get back out onto the racetrack. While this battle remains, Austin Johnson fighting his way into turn numbers 10 out of 12 and 13. And it will be out of turn 12, the driver of the number 20, Austin Johnson. First stage win of the season as he wins the opening bell. John Matthews forced to toe to pit road as he has crashed somewhere on the racetrack. We'll get a look at that in just a moment. For now, Nick Miller and Pacey Wygen scrapping for third. And the closing laps of the stage, or the closing quarters of the stage, do we see a bump and run from Pacey to Nick? We do not. Nick Miller. Oh, might get him here. No. Nick Miller going to hang on for stage one. That was for third. Battle for sixth also closes. Elena Pelletier sharp. Under heavy pressure from Scott McCann. McCann looks right. Looks back to the left. He also will fail to get there. Sharp hangs on for sixth. And now for 9th, 10th, and 11th, the last points up for grabs in the stage. Lily Fraser will fend off Peyton Snyder. And Peyton will fend off Blade. This is what happened to John Matthews. Oh boy, well, we'll back it up a little bit more than that, as that is a bit after the fact. You saw one car already spun in front. There was John, just lost the back end of the way and overcorrected when it headed on into the wall. That was the 14 to George Ciampa, fresh out of pit road. That got collected. So Austin Johnson, the winner of the opening bell this afternoon. Good showing for him. But boy, a tough ride for drivers elsewhere. Austin Johnson not available for comment, unfortunately. Neither is DJ Trout, or in fact, Nick Miller. Oh, no, sorry, DJ Trout is indeed available. So we will, Well, we may not be able to get a chat with our Stage 2 winner, or Stage 1 winner, but we will be able to get a chat with the driver that comes home number 2 this afternoon. DJ, this is Noel Rambo here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? I am doing fantastic, and I'm sure with the second place of the stage, you're not doing too bad either. Well, you kind of have had a few laps now to figure out what the track's going to be like when you're in traffic. Do you reckon Stage 2 win might be on the cards for you? Well, if you say anything could happen, I mean, I'd say so. We had 21 cars start this race. We've only got 12 left on the racetrack already after only 10 laps. Odds are in your favor that, hey, something might happen to that number 20 car up the road. All right, well, we'll wish you the best of luck when we go back to racing. Congratulations on second place of the stage. We'll see if it'll be a win in 10 more laps. DJ Trout comes home number 2 in stage number 1. As Austin Johnson continues to pace the field under our first yellow flag of 2 this afternoon. Expect to see pretty much everybody in the pit road here for some kind of service. Wow, you're telling me everyone is coming in? Who could have seen this coming? So 21 cars look to start this race, and we'll get the exact number of cars left on track after this one. Four tires and fuel is the call for pretty much everybody. Nick Miller remaining in the pits for damage repairs. He'll be towards the tail of the field. Interestingly enough, Peyton and Blaine Snyder both staying out. They are already 5 laps on their current stint. They will inherit 1 and 2. Well, you know what they say, curiosity killed the cat. Let's bring up Peyton Snyder, the driver that currently leads the way after not pitting on this latest caution flight. Peyton, this solo replay for the broadcast booth. Got a copy? Well, you and Blaine ought to stay out on this one. Not something I was anticipating to see. What's the strategy call here? Austin Johnson and DJ Trout were both real quick, and they were quick to pull away from the field on the opening laps here. How confident are you on being able to keep them behind you? All right, we'll wish you the best of luck out there. Good luck on the restart. Peyton Snyder for Dodge Racing right now in the race lead, just ahead of Blaine Snyder. And, well, more cars making their way onto the racetrack, but almost all of them are laps down. So we are going to take ourselves a quick step back, and when we return, it is more racing action coming on up for you here on Great Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV. Moments away from racing action, kicking off once again to the Chicago Street Circuit. 21 cars started this race. Out of those 21, we are down to only about 15 on the racetrack, and only 11 of those are on the lead lap. So racing action is set to resume once more, as the field will work their way in through the square at turn 9 through turn 10, and then up to 11 and 12. And we'll look to kick off race in action once again in the Windy City. This stage will be the shortest of the bunch. It will only be 6 laps in length, as the stage will wrap up at the close of lap number 20. And on lap 15, racing action resumes. Feels, all of them deep into turn number 1, 2, and 3 wide coming through. There goes Austin Johnson, making sure work of the Snyders on 5-lap fractured tires. Austin Johnson cuts to the head of the field in no time flat. And now DJ Trout will have to look to do the same. Johnson doing a good job on staying out in front, and after the initial slip-up on the start, Peyton and Blaine Snyder look to have kind of gotten things together as I say that. Good news for them as DJ Trout goes around and now side by side through the square. Dom Salvo getting the elbows out. He's going to make the pass happen. No, Salvo's headed by Pacey Wygen into the corner. And through turn 11, Trout almost sent into the wall by Wygen. Wygen able to back it down enough to keep it out of him. McCann, Frazier, Myers, all up here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Boy, an aggressive dogfight to kick things off in the second stage. As I understand, there was some audio difficulties on the stage interviews that we have. We did interview the second place finisher in the stage. DJ Trout said basically just playing it by ear, seeing if they can maybe lure Austin Johnson into a mistake and hoping that that might happen later on in the race. That's DJ Trout's strategy so far. Meanwhile, we talked to Peyton Snyder about the strategy. They wanted to split stage 1, get some track position for the second stage, and so far, that track position seems to be paying off for them as they hold second and third with no way through for Dom Salvo and co. Dom Salvo now trying to fend off DJ Trout. Trout, remember, the car that was up there in second place at the end of stage 1, trying to get back up there. We got 4 laps to go in stage 2 this time by. Austin Johnson with the new fastest lap of the race that time by. Gets it a solid 127.910. Trout almost getting the bumper to Salvo. Oh, Salvo trying to pinch Trout out, and he's going to do just that. Trouble for Pelletier Sharp, and sorry, no trouble. Robert just got around her. And she has been stuck in pit road for the last little while. Look at how close to the back bumper, though, that DJ Trout's been getting to Dom Salvo. Salvo just is struggling for pace. And that damaged right front is definitely causing some major issues for him. Tell you what, a good show these guys are putting on this afternoon as they see Blaine Snyder and Peyton Sharp looking set to do the same here in the battle for the number 2 spot. Remember, these are 2 teammates here, so I don't expect for them to fight it out too hard. And I think the only swap position we'll see these 2 drivers make is one deciding, hey, I'm a little bit quicker. Let's go for a swap here so I can try to run down the leader. And in fact, that looks like it's going to happen right here. So Peyton going to allow Blaine to get through as Peyton caught the wall exiting 2. Meanwhile, just behind, the 77, the 30, and more. All of them under a blanket right now as well, with the likes of Pacey Wygen just a little ways behind. Far cleaner stage than stage 1 so far. Haven't had so much as a spin to speak of. It'll be 2 laps to go in stage 1 this time by. Oh, Salvo, a bit of a slip at the grip there coming out of turn 11. Oh, now a bumper! A huge bumper shot there from DJ Trout to the back of Dom Salvo. Salvo keeps his composure, though, doesn't loop the car. Maintains 4th through turn 1. In fact, there goes Trout down to the inside. Salvo, though, trying to get the drive back around the outside. And Salvo going to do just that. Oh boy, and now again, another bumper shot. Exit of turn 5. Nick Miller, by the way, has also gotten around Lane Myers for 9th place deeper in the field. But it is all eyes on this intense battle for 4th in the last lap and a half. And now look out! In deep is Pacey Wygen. I think Pacey caught the wall. Boy, this race not going the way, or this stage not going the way that DJ Trout wanted to, showing just how crucial track position is. Oh, and now gonna take him out. All three cars get caught up. Has big dramas. Tom Salvo will go into 5th. Pacey Wygen picks up 4th. And this is what happened. Coming up and over the rise. DJ Center and just took out the 77. Waited for them to get straightened out. Credit to him, but oh, now we're about to wreck again here, aren't we? Got a 4-way fight here for 5th place. All of this with the leaders well up the road. Oh, and a big snap out there for Salvo. That'll let DJ Trout through. Good show there. Meanwhile, Austin Johnson coming through the last series of corners. Johnson up over the rise. We'll come back to South Columbus Drive, and Johnson wins stage number 2. Now, can Pacey Wygen hold on against DJ Trout and more? Scott McCann is also in the mix. A lap car will interfere. Wygen secures the 4th place spot. And what a fight to end out stage number 2. So the running order at the stage is Johnson, Snyder, Wygen, Trout, Salvo, McCann, Frazier, Miller, and Myers gonna go in hot into turn 1. And Lane Myers also is the last car on the lead lap. Austin Johnson, your winner in stage number 2. We'll take another break, and when we return, it'll be more racing action on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV and to race for the Bull Racing League Lightning Series over at the Chicago Street Circuit. Drama is under the caution flag as DJ Trout, one of the favorites to win tonight, is out of the race. This is under caution when they were trying to catch up to the iRacing pace car. Locked up the brakes into turn 6, went hard into the wall, and that takes what was the second place runner out of contention tonight. All of that said and done, stage number 2 is in the books, and it'll be a 14-lap sprint to the end from here. Austin Johnson leads the way. Blaine and Peyton Snyder's gamble for track position on stage 1 seems to have paid off, as both of the Dodge Racing teammates are lined up second and third. Wygen and Salvo for the top 5 after pit stops. We are now left with 9 on the lead lap. And only 13 in the running in total. Casey Ellis has just been slapped with a black flag. I want to chat in here with another one of the drivers here, and we'll talk to one that kind of had a bit of a scary moment coming up for him. Pacey Wygen joins us in the broadcast booth. Pacey, a bit of a wild moment for you coming towards the end of that stage. You got almost got collected with Salvo and Trout when they came together in the final corner. Talk us through your perspective on that one.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to say. That's such a blind spot. I seen smoke and was just kind of hoping. Then the line opened up on the left-hand side there. Definitely got some brown pants. Gonna need a change of shorts after the race. But yeah, I mean, I don't have the speed to be up there with the front runners, but I think I got top 5 pace. So.
Well, we are 1 to green, so we'll let you get back to work. Good luck out there, and we'll hopefully be talking to you again at the end of the night.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Pacey Wygen will restart 4th. Second on the right side of the racetrack. Boy, it is a heavily whittled down field from earlier in this race. And in fact, while we were interviewing him, it looks like George Chiampoulos may in fact be out of the race. This is again trying to catch the safety car. This was just seconds ago. This is entering turn 12. Just locked up and never stopped. And just like that, we take another car out of the race. We've had about as many cars crashing under caution trying to catch the field as we've had actual crashes on the racetrack this race. So the field going to work their way through turn number 12. And yet again, we'll look to kick off racing action this afternoon. Justin Johnson also awarded with a black flag fresh out of pit road. Green flag's in the air, and it's a dead heat between Austin Johnson and Blaine Snyder. They're 3 wide behind with Nick Miller trying to go down the inside. They're going to accordion up and come together at the apex. They get it sorted, but how about that? Blaine Snyder drives to the lead. Whoa, one car in hot. That's Salvo. He keeps it off the wall. Johnson trying to attack down the inside into turn number 4. Through 3, into 4, into 5. And now making our way to that ever dreaded turn number 6. Blaine Snyder looking to lead his first green flag lap this afternoon. Johnson doesn't want to give it to him. Looks for the outside, trying to cut her back to the inside. Behind them, Scott McCann is in a battle with Nick Miller and Dom Salvo. Salvo's pulling away. Austin Johnson all over the back bumper of that number 88 car. Gives him a bit of a shot to the shorts that time through. Scott McCann bullied out. Look at that in a moment. Blaine Snyder will break up Austin Johnson's perfect run. It will not be a full sweep as Blaine Snyder leads his first lap of the day at the Chicago Street Court. This is what happened to Scott McCann. As they go in a little bit deep here and just kick the tail end out. Spun caught the wall. And meanwhile, Austin Johnson has gone into the lead of the race, and he has done so as Snyder kicked the tail end out. Big on defense. Johnson swung that one around the outside of turn 2. Got the drive off and was through. Oh, now Johnson gets the tail end out. That could have been a chance for Blaine Snyder to capitalize, but Blaine struck the wall himself. Well, boy, he is all over the back of Austin Johnson. A dozen laps to go this time by, and it is a complete mad fight for the lead. Oh no, Dom Salvo. Oh, Salvo's around to the front straightaway and lost it at a turn 12. Salvo's going to get that ship righted, but he's going to lose out in the battle for 5th on down. Meanwhile, can Blaine Snyder get an answer for the driver of that number 20? Gosh, I mean, it's just so close between the two. You would imagine surely Blaine Snyder's got an answer with how close they've been contested so far this race. Scott McCann, meanwhile, try to battle his way back through the field. And this first target is Lane Myers. Lane Myers driving very conservatively, just kind of tiptoeing around the streets of Chicago. Man, I mean, McCann's just so good through that square section. He just can't get around folks. He can't really pass in that section of the racetrack. But if he can get through him, he'll absolutely rip away from there because he reeled in like 0.3 of a second in that corner alone. Austin Johnson, fastest lap of the race so far. This pairing right here, the closest battle we have on the racetrack. The big question is, will Scott McCann opt to go for the bumper? It's a mighty big if, but it is doable. Oh boy, a scrape to the outside wall there between McCann and Moore. As now Lane Myers hanging on now, Myers into the fence. But look at just how quickly McCann closes up here. I mean, McCann just drives right to the back bumper, but he can't get through. I mean, if you're McCann, this has got to be frustrating to be caught in a situation as tenuous as this one. I mean, looking left, looking right, just can't. There's no opening. There just isn't an opening there. And right behind them is Justin Johnson, a driver that was towards the upper echelons of the field early in the race, and unfortunately for him, has dropped back as a result of crash damage. Now down 5 laps. There goes the look. Scott McCann trying to go the long way around. Lee Myers is going to spin it. Myers spins it, catches the wall of the Coors Light number 28. And that'll put a swift end to that battle. Peyton Snyder, meanwhile, now trying to battle back against Pacey Wygen. These two drivers have dropped off considerably from Austin Johnson and Blaine Snyder at the head of the field. Austin Johnson once again reset to the fastest lap, breaks into the 127 to the 127.5. So far, the only driver to have gotten into that realm, and a good half-second quicker than Blaine Snyder in second. And that 20 car has just been dominant all day long. Meanwhile, there is the 00 and the 48. Still locked together in that fight. They just cannot break away from each other. But without Peyton Snyder's been hounding Pacey Wygen, I am willing to bet that if Peyton gets through, he's going to take off before too long. May very well be trying to just pressure that 00 into a mistake. Oh, big snap there for Peyton. Exit the corner. Oh, no! Oh, Blaine Snyder's got a meatball flag. Oh, it's falling apart for Blaine Snyder. Snyder's picked up a big issue. Somewhere on the racetrack, some sort of mechanical problem. Has he gone wide into the 2? Oh, he's caught the inside wall. And that has fired him across. You can see the camber on that car is just ripped to shreds. There's 1. There's 2. And look there, as we'll zoom this in, look at that right front. That toe link is destroyed. You see the wheel flapping around. That wheel is not connected to much right now on the racetrack. So Blaine Snyder is out of the race. And that makes this a 3-way battle now for second. Between Wygen, Peyton Snyder, and now Nick Miller throwing his hat into the ring. What a wild race it has been thus far. And boy, the coming weeks are not going to be calming it down by much. Nick Miller trying to go around the outside to turn 2. Strikes the wall. Kicking momentum up. Don't think so. Ah, he's going to catch the wall again. We are off next week for Independence Day. Well, we return on July 11th at the Homestead Miami Speedway for race 5. From there, it's the Milwaukee Mile. Oh, Peyton Snyder spins it! Smokes the tires, drops out of the podium. Miller through to 3rd. As well as that, Lily Frazier going to pick up 4th. And in fact, Scott McCann could have a look here as well, because Peyton's tires are going to be cooked. Peyton Snyder going to let him through in the square. Or the plaza, I should say. There is your second place runner. And all the way back here is Pacey Wygen. Well, if you've enjoyed the race that we've had this afternoon, be sure to check out more over the coming weeks on Green Flag TV. July is just around the corner, and it is a completely packed schedule. Over 40 shows. You heard me right. Over 40 shows across a 31-day span, racing on every single day of the week, ensuring there will never be a day when there's not something to watch somewhere on the channel. From stock car racing to ARCAs to trucks to the road course sprinters like the Beer League, all the way to the Endurance Series, with multi-class racing featuring the FTR Events GT Super Cup. Not something you are going to want to miss. Five laps to go. Let's ride on board with Nick Miller here for a lap or two as he tries to run down Pacey Wychin. Boy, oh boy, Nick Miller is hunting. He is all over the back of Pacey Wychin as they came around through turn numbers 4 and 5. Backing her off a little bit into 6. Might be trying to set up a run somewhere. He can catch her, but getting around Pacey is the big problem right now, that he just cannot find a way to get through. Oh, nearly runs into the back of him again. Now, Pacey Wychin trying to go out of here with the 0-0. Oh, there's the look! Looking for the inside! Into the final corner, looking for 2 to go! Nick Miller through to second, and Pacey Wychin get him back. That right now is the big ticket question, is can Nick Miller fight back? Or can Pacey Wychin, fight back against Nick Miller? Miller's been real good throughout these slower sections. I think Miller's going to start to pull a gap here. You see a lap car get out of the way, not wanting to interfere. Boy, Pacey is right there. That lap car going to go in deep. I think that was Martin Roberg. We got another battle as well developing, by the way, between Scott McCann and Lily Frazier. We'll keep tabs on that as well. For now, Austin Johnson will take the white flag. while these two continue to battle it out for second. Final lap. Oh boy, Miller with the slip up. Pacey Wangin trying to go around the long way to the final corner. Miller pinches them in, doesn't let them get a run. Miller with the cutback. Pacey trying to chase. Gap closed about 0.3 of a second as they take the white flag. Oh boy. Well, you can tell this is going to go right down to the wire if Pacey's got anything to say about it. But I think Pacey had their best chance there, and now that pace started to drop off. And it's a similar story for Scott McCann and Lily Frazier. Oh, big lockup! Holy cow! Pacey in deep, but he's gonna catch the tires. Pacey Wangin into the tires, and with that, Austin Johnson comes out of the final corner, takes victory, sweeps both stages, takes pole, leads about all but 2 laps, and wins in the Windy City. Nick Miller looking like that'll be an easy 3rd place, while Scott McCann just trying to hang on as well. Boy, Pacey sent it. Pacey went in way too hot. Overshot, went into the wall. Did a good job to not take out Nick Miller. And Pacey will still cross a respectable 3rd. Over here are some of the final cars on the lead lap that we're waiting to come across the line. What a wild ride that we had here this afternoon. Incredible drives in particular from Austin Johnson. Really the only car that's actually clean with no damage in this race. And well, he's going to look to burning down on the front straightaway. And rightfully so, as Austin Johnson, the 4th different winner this season so far. Boy, just lights up the tires. Rightfully so, as he was in complete control for much of this race. And with that, we'll take a rundown of your official post-race results. As we take a look over the Chicago street circuit. A wild ride sees Austin Johnson take home victory by 29.3 seconds over Nick Miller. Pacey Wangin will come home in 3rd after he locked up coming into turn number 6 on that final lap. Just finishes ahead of Scott McCann, who will fend off Lily Frazier. Paige Snyder finishes 6th with Elaine Myers, the last car to finish on the lead lap. Justin Johnson in 8th, Wayne Snyder 9th, and Martin Roberg closes out the top 10. And drivers that did not finish the race include Dom Salvo, Casey Ellis. Tough break for DJ Trout, as Trout was looking to put on a good solid effort here this afternoon. George Giampoulos, Elena Pelletier-Sharp, John Matthews, Joey Gevedon, Bobby Blowers, Alex Ricky, and Carson Lucas all failed to finish this race, with Chris Giampoulos, Troy Washburn, and Sam Dooley all failing to make the start. Well, with all that said and done, we can take a rundown and give a chit-chat here to the drivers that come home at the end of the night. And we'll look to start it off first and foremost with the man of the hour, Austin Johnson. Comes home number 1 this afternoon, the 4th different winner this season. And Austin, so close to a perfect sweep. I mean, took the pole, both stages, the race win, all but about 2 laps there right in the middle. I mean, what a commanding drive, and by far the most commanding we've seen all season. Talk us through your secrets.
Yeah, I mean, you could throw the fastest lap in there too, I think.
You can actually,
but,
yes.
Yeah, no, it was a good race for me. Obviously, I had a good time. It was tough to figure out the track. It's just, super bumpy, and if you make one wrong mistake, you're straight into the wall. But once I figured it out, I think I had a good pace and tried to set sail and get away from the chaos that was behind. And the nice clean air was very, very helpful.
Overall, it's been a solid race for you to kick things off. Of course, you come in late into this season, but with the win and you're in, do you reckon you'll be able to meet those minimum participation goals to potentially make it into the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm gonna aim to. I just squeezed it in the 4th race there, so hopefully I'll be able to make most of the weeks here on Friday nights and have a chance at the championship, I hope.
Well, looking at the schedule coming on up, what tracks do you got circled where we might see you back in victory lane?
The schedule, I mean, most of the ovals I'm pretty confident at. Obviously, the road courses, I would probably circle those as well, based on how I did here today. But yeah, I mean, my favorite tracks are like Vegas and Gateway. Those are a couple good ones for me. And then, you always got to like Talladega. Those are pretty fun races as well.
Well, we'll wish you best of luck. We go racing in 2 weeks down in Miami. Congratulations on taking home the race win this afternoon, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.
Austin Johnson takes the Thermal number 20 to the first victory of its season. We'll bring up Nick Miller, a driver that we thought was going to be fighting for 3rd. It ended up being a big fight for 2nd, and Nick, you nearly got taken out on that final lap. You were about an inch away from disaster. Talk us through it.
Yeah, that was pretty close. I'm looking back at it now. I saw it like last second in the mirror, and then I was like, I might be getting the SVG. Was it Briscoe SVG or whatever it was a year ago in the rain or 2 years ago? I thought I was same scenario.
Well, you're able to survive it, just barely outrunning Pacey's front bumper, and it was quite the fight between you and Pacey coming down into those closing stages, and you had a bit of a pinch with Pacey as well, coming up to the white flag as well. What happened coming out of 11?
Which one's 11? I don't know the corners.
The second to last corner.
Oh yeah, I got on the gas too soon. I got tight. I clipped the wall, gave him a run back, so then I kind of had to arc him out a bit just to get a good exit to pull away because my car was severely damaged. I think I had like 10 minutes of damage on the front end, so it did not drive good at all.
Well, 2 weeks from now will be a trip back down to the Sunshine State where we'll go racing at Homestead Miami Speedway. Do you reckon your hopes are up still for, well, one of our, I think our 2nd mile-and-a-half race of the season so far?
If I was there, yes, but I won't be there. I'll be on vacation. I won't be back until the Sunday. So we'll be seeing you guys at Milwaukee Mile.
All right, well, we'll wish you the best of luck. We go racing in Wisconsin. Then in the meantime, congratulations on taking home 2nd, and we'll see you next time out.
All right, thank you.
Nick comes home number 2 this afternoon, and that'll bring us back down to Pacey Wajda. We talked to Pacey under the Stage 2 caution. We got the chance to talk to Pacey again here this afternoon. Pacey, last lap, it was a lockup going into turn number 6, potentially costed you 2nd. Do you reckon that would have gone down any other way, though?
No. It was completely unintentional. Actually, Nick thought I was trying to do the ultimate dive bomb there. I just drove in a couple car lengths deeper than I had the previous lap, and well, now I know why I don't do that. But
Well-
no, I wouldn't have finished any better than third. So
Well, hey, you still come home third. You're able to fend off Scott McCann after that error to maintain a podium run here. We talked under the stage two caution. You were talking about some of your confidence on being able to fight your way up and maintain some of these higher positions. And I think it's safe to say that confidence was well rewarded this afternoon. Championship-wise, how would you sum up your season so far?
well, I mean, I'm the points leader. Coming into tonight, honestly, all it was just trying to bank points. So I'm pretty confident with the point situation. I don't think it's going to necessarily be a win and I'm in type thing. But if I do get a win, hey, I get a win. So season thus far has been pretty good. Definitely really don't have any complaints except for, the big driver error at Atlanta racing for the win there. Other than that, it's been a pretty good season.
Well, we look forward coming on up next. It's going to be a trip down to Homestead Miami Speedway in 2 weeks with the 1 week break in the middle. What's your take on the 1.5 mile track from Miami?
I love Homestead. It's so many different grooves you can run. It's going to be a lot about tire saving. And yeah, I mean, I love Homestead, so I can't wait to get there.
All right, well, we will wish you the best of luck. We go racing in Miami once again. Congratulations on taking home third, and we'll see you when we swing out next down to the Sunshine State.
All right, sounds good.
Pacey Wajcik comes home number 3 this afternoon, and that is going to do it for our interviews here this afternoon. Boy, a wild race this afternoon, and I think quite fitting of the type of action that we had here this afternoon. Next week, it's going to be next week we are off, but we are going to still have racing action coming on up for you more in 2 weeks for the Boat Racing League with the Lightning Series. Before we get to that, though, there's, of course, plenty of more action coming on up on Green Flag TV. Over the course of the coming week here, it is going to be a swing out tomorrow night at the Talladega Super Speedway for the SRA NASCAR Classic Series with a triple header on Sunday featuring the Classic IndyCar Series for the Richmond Raceway, the Blaze Battles ARCA Series at Atlanta, and the For the Boys Racing League kicking off a Car of Tomorrow Series at Daytona International Speedway. From there, it'll also be a trip down to Miami for the HTRL Garden Premier Series. Wednesday, we'll host the Global IndyCar Challenge at the Autodromo Enzo Dino Ferrari Imola over in Italy, alongside the PSR Sim Game Expo Truck Series, also at Daytona. And from there, it'll once again be the Average Joe Sim Racing League series over at the Dover Motor Speedway on Thursdays, followed by more coming on up the Friday after. And of course, don't forget the FTR Events GT Super Cup next Saturday as well on Green Flag TV. In the meantime, my name is Little Remble. If you want to find out more about who we are, what we can offer you, check us out today at www.greenflagtv.com. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you all in 2 weeks when we go racing in Miami.